you could go and buy a football, but that was no fun. What would you? We'd make our own football. We'd make our own. There's this game called Kati. It's like dodgeball. What they call dodgeball. Yes. And we'd make our own balls. We take nylon papers and newspapers, make it into a round ball, and use it to make a. And it was all about creativity.
Hello, my people. How are you doing? Welcome to Karaoke Moments, and today we have very hot discussion. We'll be trying to compare the bringing up of children before the millennium and after millennium. That is before the year 2000 and after the year 2000. We are going to be discussing it so that we can be able to see whether we have any comparisons. Do we have any similarities? Do we have any differences? And at this point, I would like to welcome our guest. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good afternoon, because of our audiences who could be anywhere else.
Good morning this afternoon. Good evening,
wherever they're listening from and watching us. I want to welcome you to these Karaoke Moments, and we are very privileged for you to come and join us today.
Thank you.
So I would like you to introduce yourself to our audience and tell them your name.
Okay. So my name is Wanda Asila. I'm a mother of 3. I'm a good friend to Caro and Victor, and it's a privilege to be here. And get this discussion rolling.
Thank you so much. The pleasure is ours.
Thank you.
Because there is this discussion of sometimes when you're discussing with the younger generation and they keep on saying, you people, you're old fashioned. Oh, you people, you don't understand gadgets. Oh, you don't understand. But we are wondering, those ones of us who grew there before the year 2000, did we enjoy our growing up? Do we have any good memories? And sometimes memories that bring jitters in ourselves when you remember. So I would like just to know, maybe to share with us and our audiences your upbringing, how you grew up in a nutshell before we get into details. Your family, just in a nutshell. What can you tell us?
Well, I'm the second child of a family of 5 children. I grew up in Nairobi, Kenya. It was a basic family, we were, my childhood is such a happy childhood, honestly, because most of the time I look at my kids and I tell them, these days there's no fun. We had fun, and it was creative fun. So, I grew up in Nairobi, Kenya. I went to Kongoni Primary School, which was a few kilometers away from home. We used to walk home every day, to and from school if dad could not give us a lift. And my high school life was in boarding school. I studied in Western Kenya in a school called Msoli Girls High School, and that was very adventurous as well. I think one day we should have content about boarding schools in Kenya. That is when you get, you do life, as in you get to know what life is. Then after that I went to college, catering college, for 3 years in Virginia Slims Catering College in Westlands, and then did my catering course there, and then came to England, started working as a chef. I own my own business now, so it's or rather I'm self-employed at the moment, so I've carried on with catering ever since. I've never stopped, and that's me in a nutshell.
Thank you so much. That's a nice nutshell. A very nice one. And so I'm just wondering, as you're growing up, what can you remember about authority in your family? Now that you have told us that you grew up in a nice family, and I've even heard you saying your dad used to drive. So I'm thinking you were placed in a very good place, not a very bad place. If those days of before the year 2000, your dad was driving, we want to thank God that he was able to drive at that time. So maybe you can share with us, what can you remember in your childhood about authority in your family?
When you speak about authority, it's dad had the final say to everything. I think all of us used to, any decisions that were made in terms of discipline, in terms of, I would say more discipline side and more decision making, it always used to be my father, my late dad. Yeah, bless his soul. He was such a wonderful man, and I think he was like the best example of a father that you could ever think of. When you talk about authority in the house, it was him first, then my mother. My mother used to be the one who plans everything, but when we come to decision making and giving discipline, my dad used to do that. So yeah, when you speak about authority, all I remember is my dad.
Okay.
Yeah,
that's good. Yeah, that's good. At least you can remember, and may your dad rest well.
Amen.
Yeah, that you can remember very good memories about this place. Yeah. How about now that you had siblings? What can you remember about, for example, going to school as siblings? What can you remember? Like especially primary school, can you share with us in a nutshell?
That was quite primary school. I think it was one of those things. For me, it was fun. When I think about primary school, I don't think about. Did I even read? Me, I had fun in primary school. Yes, we used to have homework. We used to have the preps and everything when we're coming out of school, and it's the starting very early in the morning, preparing yourself, having your breakfast. Your brothers, your sisters are there in the table. We all used to do breakfast on the table. Get your friends together. If you're going to the same school, you pick each other, and the more you start from a house, then the house next. The more you're going further, the bigger the crowd is growing. So and we used to go like in a swamp. My dad sometimes would drive us, but we used to prefer walking because it was more fun. And lateness was something else that was not entertained in school. So we really had to keep time. And there were those moments that sometimes you could decide, oh, let's stop and do this, or let's stop and go by, and then you get late. The rushing you would do down that bridge. No, it was really nice. It was, I think we started responsibility from a very young age, and just the fact that you could the children in the because the estate used to have different children from different schools, but all of us who are going to the same school, we just collect each other and go in a crowd, and then we just arrive. We are from PV. That's where we used to stay.
Yeah, your estate was called Placeview. Okay. So you've just reminded me, I think, a couple of things, and I feel honored. Yes, I know I'm on this side, but we are going to co-share today because my childhood memories. We must co-host this show today. So because you reminded me, like growing up when in primary school, because I grew in the suburbs of Nairobi in an area called Ngong.
Oh yeah, no, Ngong.
Ngong
is like Nairobi.
Yeah,
what do you
like
mean?
Nairobi, but the difference is, as we didn't have estates, we were having farms. So I grew up in a farm in Ngong in an area called Kiserian. So it's very hilly because of Ngong Hills, if you imagine. So we used to go like an opposite hill from home. So you have to go down and then uphill again where the school was. And you've just reminded me about going to school. I see the privilege like of this country, the taking children to school. It's really a hassle. It's really an assignment.
Tell me about
couples have to arrange themselves, maybe work opposite each other. You've got to drop your children, hand them over to school, then in the evening as well, I think until they are 12 years. I think as we grew like maize. Because what happened?
Grew like maize.
Like maize. Once you plant maize with good weather and rain, it will grow. Because all those things we didn't have really. What used to happen is you are 6 years or 5 years, you're ready to go to school. So you join everybody as well when they are going. And what used to happen, because mostly the homes you can be able, from the main road, you can be able to call. So you'll be hearing, Carol, come out. And then now you join the group. And then also when you're going, we are getting late, John, Peter.
It's the heckling.
And we are all going and we are running to school. And some of us were privileged to have shoes. Some of us were not privileged to have. So some of us even were not. I thank God that at least I was able to put on shoes and I was also comfortable. But I think us growing up and seeing the ones without, I used to remove my shoes and put it in the bag.
Wow. So you can be all alike.
So that we can all be alike. And I remember when you come with thorns and prongs and my mom would be asking, how comes? Where were your shoes?
Yeah.
But you know, you don't want to say the whole truth. You say, you know, my mom, everybody didn't have shoes.
Yeah.
And even me, I say, no, they are not having shoes because they want it. It's because they lack. You need to put on your shoes. Sometimes
Yeah.
I would give one shoe and I put the other.
Wow.
So what we are saying is our growing up,
Yeah.
you've even mentioned about homework. I
Yeah.
can't remember. Primary school.
I know.
For what?
I know.
You know, I tell you, primary school. We used to be given
It was so
in maths
fun.
and everything.
Mhm.
So fortunately, I didn't struggle with education, even primary school. So if it's maths, by the time we are going for games, the teacher, by the time we are going out, I've done my maths and finished. So there is no homework.
You are too
Finished.
organized. You are too organized.
Yeah,
Some
yeah,
of
yeah.
us used to leave the homework and then, you know, during the weekend or maybe in the evening, that's when you go finish off everything.
I think because I'm up to date, I fear punishment.
Oh,
So
I
I
see.
used to fear to be caned. Because I fear to be caned. So
Okay.
I would do my work because I know when I go home I'll be playing.
Yeah.
I couldn't substitute
Okay,
anything.
okay.
So I think I
Yeah.
just used to organize my life in a very simple way.
Mhm.
But that is now our childhood. You see, because currently, if you look at it, it could be different.
Yeah.
The way we are saying escorting
Yeah.
our children, it's a big deal. And even all these things of going together, sometimes children, there is also some areas are not very safe. I think in our days, we just used to go to school, you meet with everyone. I
Yeah.
think the issues of childhood, maybe being unsafe and abduction, children were
We
children.
never thought about
We
it.
never
you
thought,
know?
and it
crossed our
never
mind.
used to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a nice one. So now
Yeah.
maybe I would like us to share also, like maybe the games we used to play.
Yeah.
And maybe the toys involved, if there were any. What
Yes.
can you remember, Wanda?
Toys. Now I lived in an era where creativity was a thing.
Yeah.
We never had you could go and buy a football, but that was no fun. What we'd make our own football, we'd make our own there's this game called Kati. It's like dodgeball. What they
Yes.
call dodgeball. Yes. And we'd make our own balls. We take nylon papers and newspapers, make it into a round ball, and use it to make and it was all about creativity. And then during the safari rally competitions, we used to make cars.
Okay.
You make safari rally cars and you actually have a race and even number them. The childhood games were so great.
Yeah.
Then we had shake, we had bladder. Bladder
Yeah.
used to come from the tubes.
Yeah.
From cars, you cut them and then it was all about creativity.
Yeah.
And everything was so active.
Yeah.
You think about playing, it's going out.
Yes.
We never used to play inside the
Yes.
house because everything was so active. It's not what is done these days. Playing is all digital on Xbox. There's no much movement.
Yeah.
So it was so different.
Yeah.
Creativity was the
Yes.
thing. Chamama chababa.
Yeah.
You remember that?
Yeah. Imitating your dad's
Yes.
and your mom's how
So
they
it's-
do it
Yeah,
in the
it's
house.
like playing house.
Yes.
You
Playing
even
house.
you make your own jikos. You make your own
Cooking area.
cooking area. You use stones to make bedrooms. So it was all creativity, It was all creativity. It was so good. I miss those days.
Yeah. In fact, it's so funny because yes, you were a city girl. I'm in the
Yeah.
suburb, but
Yeah.
we are sharing so much because
Yeah.
I remember even in the house when you start playing a little bit, your
Yeah.
mom would be the first one. Everybody go
Yeah.
out and play from outside
Yeah.
because the weather was conducive.
Yeah.
Because always there are other children, and actually, when other children are playing, you'd even hear. You're told, for example, John and Mary, they're in their compound. Go and play there. This noise is too much. And you go and join them.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's true. The games, even our times, I remember, it was the creativity. It used to make us think. Like
Yeah.
even boys, they would make a very big football.
Yeah.
But it used to be with papers and then they tighten it with ropes.
Mm.
And they even used to give out warrant. Like they would say, for you to play, you must bring a sweet. Or you must bring maybe as you are the one to be collecting this ball when it goes to the other side of the fence.
Yeah.
They used to give warranty, so they used to be
wow.
disciplined. Yeah,
Wow.
they used to tell themselves, and even girls, when you want to be the cheerers.
Yeah.
By the way, football, I used to be a cheerer. at
Really?
high school. Yes, because you have favors. Because when they are going out, the cheer team
Oh, I
must be
see.
given maybe a chance. You'll be in the van and
Yeah.
everything. So me, I've always loved, and actually, my growing up, I've always been a boys person.
Mm.
I've grown with boys. I've studied with boys in high high school, and everywhere.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Boys just, there's a way they just stimulate my thinking and their game.
And the simplicity of
And
being,
the simplicity.
it's not too much
Yeah.
bickering.
Yeah. And that's what I like. Men are very focused. So the boys will never be discussing about these small issues. It's big things.
Yeah.
So I used to enjoy and find myself very happy with them.
Yeah.
So another thing that I can remember about games and creativity, it is sometimes we would do very dangerous games. Like what I'm saying, I used to play with boys. I remember one day when I was in my grandmother's compound, we were playing we were playing the game of hanging like monkeys, and we were swinging from one tree to the other.
Yeah.
And I missed one branch and I fell to the ground.
Hey.
I didn't break any bones, but I remember I was dragging my leg and everybody was asking what's up. And I told them I fell.
Yeah.
They said, you see the games that you play. So it's true. There was creativity, sometimes dangerous, but it went on well. That is a very good recap.
That's amazing.
By the way, you are still watching Karaoke Moments. Have you subscribed? If you haven't subscribed, please kindly subscribe. Subscribe, like our videos, comment, turn on all your notifications so that you can be able to be catching up every time when we are bringing up new videos. So let's talk about food. How about food? What were you eating? Did you have privileges of choosing what to eat?
No.
What can you tell us about food?
The food that was there, one meal is made. And that meal is what everyone is going to be eating. And we, eating around the table these days, I'm telling you, even in my own house, eating around the table has kind of just vanished. But we never had the privilege of, this one wants this. It's like a restaurant. No, there was no restaurant behavior there. This one wants this today, this one that. No, what is there is what you eat. So the meal that has been cooked, that is what everyone is going to eat. Yeah, so, that is... the thing that we, mom used to insist on. There's no, unless you have an allergy or something, then yes, which is but then these days there's so many allergies.
Did you ever used to have so many allergies?
I cannot remember. I don't, in fact,
maybe asthma because of cold weather, not like, I think food.
Yeah, food, I think everyone ate everything and anything.
No, I can't remember a lot of choices.
Even if you had
free,
even if you had allergy, maybe you just thought it's just a, a rash that is coming and going. That was it.
What I remember about food in our family is we used to have most of the time 2 meals, like rice, and maybe our local food, the maize meal, the ugali.
Yes, ugali.
So we would always have that, and at times even we would be having chapati. So most of the time we were having 2 types, but if you want it amongst what is in the family, we were not privileged. Like the other day I was discussing with my friend, and we were talking about how their children have grown up saying what they want. Like they can cook very nice kind of our food, like Africanized kind of food. The children, the boy and girl, will refuse. They will say they want McDonald's. And the dad has to drive to go and look for McDonald's even if it's 8 p.m.
Sunday afternoon period.
They will even cook for them. And even now, because they are working and they are living with them, that is the tradition.
Wow.
They will still go and buy. So you see, I was telling them, okay, these are the differences as we compare the growing up in the 90s, in the 80s, and maybe 70s or 60s, and maybe now after the 2000. Okay, we are thinking about discipline. How are you disciplined by your parents or teachers?
It depends on what you have done. You could be stroked, you could be pinched, you could be told. There was no naughty corner. Naughty corner never worked. In fact, naughty corner was a privilege to us, And the amount of and I think, in a way, it's kind of, I'm thankful when I think about the discipline that we had when we were children. Right now, I'm thankful because it made us what we are now. We cannot pass someone without saying hello. We don't address elders with their names, by their names. Most of the time we're told, anyone who's older than you is auntie, uncle. Do you know, when I used to take my kids to school, they all used to call me auntie. Well, we used to do lift shares. So I would take my neighbors' kids. Their parents are all from Africa. So we do, in the morning, I take them. In the afternoon, someone else takes them. So when I take them to school, they all say, bye, Auntie Wanda. Hi, Auntie Wanda, And the teachers ask them, are you related? Are you all related? There were like about 5 kids from different homes.
Yeah.
Are you all related? Then they said, no. So what do you call Vanessa's mom auntie?
Yeah.
Then they said, we just call them auntie because that is what we have been taught.
Yeah.
And I think that is until the teacher started calling me Auntie Wanda.
It became now like almost your second name, yeah?
Yeah. And for me, I think that is one of the things that I think is so important to instill in our children, and not even our children, our teenager, young adults. If I am older than you, you don't address me just anyhow. I think it's one of those disciplines that we kind of hold on to that are so beautiful.
Yeah.
You know, if I see someone who's older than me, I don't just call by name. One day, one of my son's friends called me Wanda, and I'm thinking, who are you calling Wanda? Because I'm not used to it. It's the discipline that so that is one of the things that I think we used to do then. We still do now, and we should carry it on. To generations to come.
Okay. What I remember about discipline is in matters of discipline, when your mom has disciplined you, there was no way your dad would cancel that. And if your dad has disciplined you, there was no way your mom would want to be contrary. Even if they don't agree, they would discuss it behind the scene, and then they will come in unison and say, I understand that you did A, B, C, D. We are saying, you'll hear a lot of we, and I think it used to help to know you can't play around with your parents' decision. Whoever who decides is the parent decision. Teachers, as we were caned in school, and as I told you, I've always feared, I feel like my body usually keeps a lot of pain. So even when I'm scratched or hit by a stone a little bit, my body, so I think I don't like to be beaten. Generally, I don't like pain. But I would see the caning of primary school. At times a teacher would be landing on your behind, your toes, I don't know, your calf muscles, very many areas. I used to be scared, and then you'll see how people are walking with dragging. Yes, I've been beaten maybe twice, but I remember it was when you make noise as a whole class, and then you don't even know who was making noise, and you're all beaten. What I'm saying is, when it comes to discipline, which sometimes would be very harsh, I like it the way now it's being toned down. At least it's more of what is it? Negotiated democracy. Like you can discuss and say, you did this or that. But also I think the way we were being taught, it helps because it helped us to remain firm and to know that once you do something, you do it. But also nowadays they are saying the naughty corners, you are kept on the side, and we are just comparing their days and our days. Okay. So how about when we look at things like maybe did you used to go for holidays? Did you used to travel for holidays?
Yeah, we used to travel for holidays, and the holidays that we used to travel was at my grandmother's house. That was holiday enough for us, with the village, visit grandma, play with the cows, do the planting. I mean, the village life was also really good. It's one of those things that we used to really enjoy. But my memory about going to your grandmother's, to my grandma's, and because we used to live in Nairobi, but we come from Western Kenya, and it used to be like an 8-hour drive. So the integrity songs, Integrity Hosanna. My dad used to have every single album of them.
You mean the Christian music called Integrity,
And from Nairobi to Bunyore, we used to hear. So every single song that even sings now was indoctrinated in my mind. And it was just so beautiful. All the time that we would travel, it was music all the way. All the way. And that is one of the memories that I really cherish. I really cherish, and it made me know so many gospel songs. Okay. Nice to hear that. As we never used to do holidays, our traveling mostly was visiting our aunties or our grandparents as well. We didn't do holidays, honestly, but we would visit, and they would also come to our place, and we would also go to their place, and it was memorable. Especially visiting my grandmother also was epic, because we would eat fruits from the countryside. Definitely a chicken will be slaughtered, and you'll be able to meet our cousins. Yes. And now we're in a place where we are having gadgets and machines. House chores now, it's machines that are doing. What can you remember about house chores in your time? Saturday was the day for cleaning. And my mom would say, Now that was my mom's, the very statement that I remember from my mom is cleanliness is next to godliness. So if you're not clean, you're not godly.
And if you're not godly, you are the opposite.
Exactly. So Saturday was the day. We used to be allocated duties.
Yeah.
The one was going to wash the kitchen. The one was going to wash the clothes and the veranda outside. We used to wash it, scrub it. As in, mom used to say, let it be as clean as your mouth, And we just used that was like cleanliness was something that the house chores was always divided between us, and everyone used to get involved. Yeah.
I think on house chores, I come in a family of 4 and I'm the firstborn. So fortunately we had a house girl and we had also a gardener. So he would do all the things in the farm, like looking after goats and cows, and then our and maybe going for napier grass, milking, all that. And then we had a house girl who was doing the cleaning, the washing and the cooking. Amazingly, I've always been an outdoor. Me, I used to like cooking for dogs, because we used to have very fierce dogs, like 4 at each and every given time. So cooking for dogs, milking the cows, going to look after sheep and goats. I think really boys things, so that I go outdoors. I never used to like the indoors. But when we come home, we had to tidy, like your bedroom and everything. It was personal task. And even when you come, removing utensils and doing all those things we did. Because I know the current generation, some of them even can't be able even to wash a plate or a cup.
To switch on the machine to wash it.
Because also that's a lot of work.
It's so, you mentioned house girl, and I'm thinking, I remember having house girls, but what were they doing? Because we remember, but I think it's during the week. That's when they used to but weekends was for children, us to do the housework.
Us, we had to accompany them. If they are cooking, if you decide you are the one going with the cooking, you'll be there cutting, being told, okay, chop the tomatoes now, chop this as they are doing. So you're not just going to be standing there. If you're going out literally, you have to look after the sheep. You have to come with napier grass, which is very itchy, if you remember. So there was nothing like you can sit and wait, and you all come together and eat together. So there was not like something that you can say you're relaxing. So I think these are very good memories, and just looking at how we were brought up. And something else that has come up, I remember, is about the communal living, the community. For example, if you found people seated somewhere and you're passing, you had to greet them. Especially you are younger and they're older. And you had even to, because they used to say, if, for example, you pass people and you get lost, you cannot come back and say, sorry, good morning, I wanted to find out which is the way to. No, you passed them. It was very kind of unfriendly, antisocial behavior. For example, even when you are like in the buses, when someone walks through and or just comes maybe at the bus stop, you let the old ones first go in. You can't just go elbowing them and going in. And also something else, when in the bus and someone who is old or sick comes in, you have to stand. You are not even told. We were taught that.
Do it.
For example, when you're going home and you're kicking a ball and you're seeing adults passing, you had to stop. Do you know, even when people were dating and you see an adult coming, you had to get off the road so that the adults can pass. But in the current generation, it's amazing how generations are different. Even you'll see someone is on their phone and an old person is near them. I think they've not been stimulated to remember, because you'll find even an older one is the one who is standing. I think it's really ground in our mind that is the thing to do. Another thing that I know is things like sharing. I think because we really used to share and we were most of the families, you realize that currently children, you have to remind them to share and try to instill it early. But us, I think it was natural because of the way we were brought. I think these are very nice memories that we are remembering today. And I also want to ask you, how about the dressing of your time? What can you remember?
It was very decent, I think, because I'm trying to think, when did I even start wearing a mini? I can't even, I think I had to hide for me to, I had to hide. You don't just wear a mini in front of you, hide. But everything, our parents used to buy the clothes. We never used to buy clothes for ourselves. So me and my sister always, my two sisters, we always had the same clothes.
Oh, the uniform
Maybe different,
ones.
maybe different colors, but they're the same. So no one can complain, oh, you have a better one. Oh, no. My mom used to know our favorite colors. So if it buys a skirt and a blouse for all the same, different colors.
Yeah.
But they used to buy the clothes. Length was a thing. You know, my mom would not allow you to go with some length out of the house, you know. So yeah, it was all done by our parents, really.
Yes, true. We didn't have a lot of choice because even you would go to buy. I remember even when I started to buy my clothes, maybe when I went to high school, just trying to be made to know how to buy and be independent.
Yeah.
My mom would say, no, that one you bought, but you're not going to put on. So I would rather just buy a nice one because I won't put it on if I buy a wrong one. How about matters of spirituality? Did you grow up in any kind of a faith in your family?
Yeah. I mean, spirituality,
no?
there was no choice of saying no, because it was a Sunday was like a day that you all go to church. No one is left in the house. You know, you're all taken. We all go to church. We all come back. If you're going to visit an auntie or an uncle after church, but church used to be like compulsory in our house. Yeah. I
hear you, because I think the current millennials, the after 2000, there is a lot of the choices and leeways. They can even say, oh, I'm sleepy, I've been going to school the whole week, Sunday I want to sleep in, or maybe they say I don't feel like, or I want to watch a movie. I think in our times, things of spirituality and faith was a lifestyle. Like there was no other choice. You didn't have to wake up on Sunday and think, oh, now today which movie will I watch? Anything happening was in the afternoon, because you go to church, maybe go for another short meeting, maybe your parents are there, you're waiting for them, then go back in the afternoon, have lunch. Maybe at that time you can be able to do something else. So maybe as we come to the end of it, what comparison in a nutshell can you give us, because you're coming to the end of these discussions of ours?
Comparison in a nutshell mainly is for me, what is so different between what we used to do then and what we do now is mainly about the school runs. School runs is a big thing here in UK. The thing that you have to take your child to school and bring them back. Once they grow of age, you just think to yourself, oh my God, I can have a break now. You know, so well, with us, we used to take ourselves and we bring ourselves back. So, you know, that is one of the things that I could see a very big difference. And sometimes it's a struggle, to be honest. Because, you know, you don't know how to divide your time. Maybe you're at work and you have to go and pick up the kids and you're thinking, what now? You have to depend on childminders and things like that. So, that is the one thing that I see was quite big in comparison.
Okay. I think in a nutshell, what I can remember is the sexuality matters. I think in my growing up, we knew, men and women marry and get babies. We knew the peripheral, and we knew mostly as we were growing up and as we were becoming more mature. Like when I look at it, I knew about it even like in class 7 and class 8, biology and everything. But when I went to high school is when especially when my friends, some of them, my schoolmates, would start having boyfriends, is when I started now understanding. Yes, I know my mom would always talk about don't play with boys, you'll be pregnant. But I didn't know the in-depth until I went to high school and now started realizing, you know, and even biology gets deeper and you start to understand. But amazingly, one day I visited a friend of mine and we were watching the soap operas with the mother and the daughter. The daughter is like 5 years old, and we were discussing as we are watching something. It's a new program to me. I don't know the program. And the daughter is the one who kept on updating us and saying, mommy, hey, watch, you will see. They are going to make love. They are going to, and it's true. They are kissing now, they will make love. And that's a 5-year-old girl child. And you can see nowadays they really get enlightened early. I think it's because of the internet, the gadgets. Really, this is a different season for them. We can say for sure, we can see the difference. All we need to do as parents is to try and tone down, try and moderate, try and bring out the best from this generation and also the best from our generation and sell to them. And also what is not very appropriate in our times. Like that when you're disciplining a child equal to child abuse. I think that is one of the things that I know I wouldn't want to bring into this generation. But also they're giving them a leeway to go and feel very carefree, careless, and which at times become disobedient and mannerless. We also try to tone them down to be. So it's a matter of moderation and trying to balance the two generations. But this was a very nice discussion. And here at Karaoke Moments, you're very proud and happy that you even got a chance to be able to come and share those good memories, because I think we are around the same age group. Yes, from the look of things. Whereby we are sharing a lot. So we want to thank you so much, and till we get to meet you again, because I know we will meet again.
We will.
And I think we will be discussing about boarding schools.
That would be good.
You reminded me that we need another date.
We should. Well,
so,
thank you for having me.
So okay, you're welcome. And till we get to see you again around here, we just want to thank you, everyone. I hope you've subscribed. I hope you've liked our video. Please do continue sharing our videos. Make comments. Please make comments. Let us know even what you would like to hear, because guys, some of these actually they usually come from our inbox, sometimes from the comments. People just saying, because Karaoke is about life conversations. These are things that happen in life, and we have a tagline where we say life is a journey, walk in it. So we just want to thank you. Till we get to see you again, we love you and God bless.
Bye.